Silicon Valley is the center of incredible technology. It's the birthplace of amazing innovations, a leading driver of our economy, and it provides opportunities for a new wave of employment. But the venture capital industry is still very much a boys' club. Despite Silicon Valley being the hotbed of innovation and supposedly a meritocracy, there is one problem that it still fails to solve: diversity. Women in increasing numbers are stepping forward to fight against a system that is resistant to change.
One woman is taking on gender discrimination in the workplace.
Ellen Pao publicly challenged this deep culture of sexism within VC after years of combating discrimination internally as a partner at Kleiner Perkins. In 2014, Ellen Pao brought charges against Kleiner Perkins for gender discrimination and retaliation. Women will be judged one way and men another. Ellen Pao, who had an excellent track record in venture capital, lost her lawsuit against Kleiner Perkins. The Ellen Pao verdict was a new low for Silicon Valley. This is nothing new. Before Ellen came forward, there were other women who spoke truth to power. Anita Hill seized the world's attention when she alleged workplace sexual harassment against Supreme Court nominee Clarence Thomas. Hill testified at Thomas's Senate confirmation hearing.
It would have been more comfortable to remain silent. But when I was asked by a representative of this committee to report my experience, I felt that I had to tell the truth. I could not keep silent.
Anita Hill showed deep courage in the face of hostility and attempts to humiliate her, persevering and testifying forcefully. Her stand inspired a wave of change. Women started speaking up about their own experiences being harassed, and women frustrated by how Hill was treated by Congress were inspired to run for office and to assume positions of power in the private sector. These two courageous women challenged the status quo. Sadly, it seems that too little has changed in the 26 years since Anita Hill stepped forward to speak out against sexual harassment.
The sexual comments, teasing, jokes, questions are the most common form of unwanted attention. Pressure for dates is often the next form of escalation, and the use of letters, phone calls, or in her case, graphic materials. It is a very common pattern.
And it's not just women. Marginalized groups from all walks of life are being persecuted for being different, for speaking the truth, and for sharing their stories. Anita Hill spearheaded the dialogue 26 years ago. Separated by time but united in a common struggle, fighting workplace discrimination, these pioneering women have inspired others to stand up and speak up.
It's complex. It's like there's one thing that you're not invited to. Is that such a terrible thing? But when it adds up and it's like, oh, but you were talked over. But oh, sometimes people talk over other people and it just happens. But it's this constant thing that happens to you and it happens to other women and it happens to minorities or it happens to people who are different. It adds up, and over time there comes a point where a lot of people realize that it is not an even playing field.
Ellen Pao has launched a new movement to give everyone a fair chance to succeed in tech. Project Include is the effort of 8 industry veterans, including Pao, and is based on their collective lived experiences as business leaders and women working in tech. The term the Pao effect refers to the dramatic increase in women filing gender inequality lawsuits and speaking up about discrimination and bias. The fight is far from over, and it is everyone's responsibility to speak out against inequality. We sit together, those who have experienced injustices before you and those who still experience it every day. We see you. We believe you. We've lived it, and we stand with you. The fight for equity in all spaces continues. No space, no society, no sector, including Silicon Valley and tech in general, can ever reach its full potential if it remains exclusive to a few. Through our collective voices and power, we can change the status quo by speaking our truth and leading the movement for a more equitable society.